Mandy, you can connect your microphone, or if you can hear me, just respond. Auntie, are you there? Auntie, I hope you are working on your microphone or sound. Mutaki Kalunde, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine.
Good to see you, Andy. Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're fine?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Is it the first time we are having a meeting online?
For this lesson?
Uh-huh.
For this lesson, I guess it's the second time. The rest, I'm good.
How comes you lost or what happened?
Morning hours, I'm always busy at work.
Oh, you
Yeah,
work,
from
huh?
8 to 11. But during the afternoon, I'm somehow free.
All right, I've never known that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So welcome. Let me know. Right, the rest are not yet there, though I would wish that we just start. We will be reviewing what we did last time, and what today my focus will be on job description and job specification, because this is a very important area for us when it comes to recruitment. So, Mutaki, can you take me through what you have gained in terms of recruitment and selection. If I won't be asking for too much, anything you wish to take me through that you learned?
Pardon?
What have you gained or learned under recruitment and selection? You could just do a brief, don't worry, just do a brief. You don't have to give everything. What have you captured? What have you seen? What have you studied?
Maybe
Just
I
in
type.
general. Yes, that's what I want. Oh, you want to type? You don't want to talk?
I'm at
Using the
work,
audio?
so I'm not that free to
All right, that's fine. Just type. It's okay. That's allowed. So, Taki, are you able to give a summary? Okay, let's move on. That's okay. Let's move to. Let's go to this area. Just confirm that you are under recruitment and selection process. Monty, good afternoon. Carol, can you confirm that you can see what I've shared? The same with the monthly?
Yes, we can.
All right, that's fine. Then
Yeah, it's clear.
it's clear. Okay, fine. So this is what I want. I just want to give um, more information on what we've done, and this is very important because as we study, things must be made clear. So these two things have been confusing: job description and specification. And before that, I was doing a summary so that when I move out of this topic, I would go to human resource records and human resource policies, then we'll be winding up this unit. So when you look at this, we have got the recruitment process and selection process. And you can see that there is a separation, the two are separated. There's somewhere where recruitment starts and it ends. Then where it ends is where selection begins. We had initially said that recruitment is a continuous process, and therefore it can never, that recruitment ended and then there is no selection. When recruitment ends, selection must proceed. Otherwise, it will not proceed because of maybe court issues and maybe other challenges that may come with that. So looking at this, we have got the recruitment process. And under this, I've already shared what I'm looking at. So you can see there is the replacement or new position. That is found under recruitment. The replacement or new position means that we get to know whether there is a vacancy or not. When you've known there's a vacancy, then you proceed to the next step. Otherwise, if there isn't, then you will not be bothered with what is happening. And what are the reasons why vacancies may arise? We had given them earlier on. It could be a new position that has been brought on board. It could be replacing someone who left because of retirement, who maybe resigned, or who maybe was dismissed, and many other reasons. And then we have job analysis. Under job analysis is where you collect and analyze information about the job. You look at the purpose of the job, the responsibilities, you look at the tasks and the competencies. So all those ones brought together will help in doing an analysis. You analyze, you look at the job in detail. What are the purposes? What are the responsibilities? What are the tasks? What are the competencies? Then from there, you go to job evaluation. And I said that a job evaluation may not be necessarily done or applied here. And therefore, even if you ignore it, I have no problem. But this is key because it looks at the worth of a job. Is that job worth the amount of money that it has been assigned? Then from there, we have job description for those who are working. I am sure you have your job description. And this is a broad statement of the title, of the purpose, the duties and responsibilities of the job that should be sent to the applicants. Remember, at this stage, you've not shared that with the applicants. You still have it with you. You are reviewing it. There's something to add. There's something to remove. You do it at that stage. Then there's person specification. Remember, we mentioned that job description is all about the job. It takes you through in relation to the job. That is job description, but job specification is to personalize. So I will be going personal with Mutaki. I'll be going personal with Manthi. So I would want to know how tall is Manthi, how short is Manthi, what is Mutaki's weight, what is Mutaki's height. That is what I'll be doing in person specification. And that's why you look at it, you see there we have the experience. What is your experience? The experience that Manti has is different from the experience that Joan has. It's different from the experience that Mugendi has. It's different from the experience that Mutaki has. The knowledge is different. The qualification is different. The personality. All these ones are different. So that is person specification. Then from there, I'm going to come back to job description and person specification. Under this again, now you attract. Now, attracting here is you go for suitable candidates. And you can get them through two ways. There's the internal methods and there is external methods. We can do it internally, we can do it externally. So externally, as we've given examples there, it could be through recruitment agencies and also through the universities. When you've done that, now attracted applicants, you could use the agencies outside there or internally, shortlist, you receive them, you compare the applications with the person's specification. Do they meet the qualifications, the knowledge, the experience, the personality? And that is where now we go to the selection. And under selection, you have the interviews, you could do the tests, you could do the medical examination, you could do the intelligence quotient, the aptitude tests. When that person is successful, then you now go to the offer, the letter of offer, where you give a contract of employment. You send it to the applicant through different modes. The applicant will give feedback. If they're satisfied, they sign the letter. They confirm they're willing to start the job. If they're not satisfied, they may not even bother about it. And we even discussed this last time, and we looked at it in details, unless someone could be having a question on the same. So that is important. Apart from that, I have got a sample here, something else I want to share on the same, that if you have a question, please, you can share or you can ask. So the next one I'm sharing is here. I want us to go into. So these are steps of recruitment, the recruitment planning, and we mentioned that the circumstances surrounding a reason for a vacancy and the need to recruit a new member of staff can be numerous. There are many reasons why there could be a vacancy in an organization and a reason for you to fill that vacancy. And some of them, as we mentioned, include there an employee leaving the organization. The employee may leave an organization. And when they leave the organization, it means that you have to bring someone on board to replace them. So an employee leaving the company, a person transferring to another location, yes, you can transfer to another location. So that is transfer. Apart from that, we also, or an individual can leave an organization because of business growth, maybe, or there could be a vacancy, not leaving, but there could be a vacancy. Apart from transferring to another location, there could be business growth. So you are growing, and therefore you find there are other vacancies that must now be filled. You create more opportunities. If you had got secretary, one secretary, you may need two. If you had an accountant, you may need another accountant or two more. Then temporary cover for a long-term absence, someone may not be there, you're covering. You're coming in for someone who is away for some reasons, could be health, could be some training, could be short-term reasons, maybe business peak. Maybe the business is doing very well, or it's a new business. You can still bring someone on board. There are times where some businesses are doing very well. It could be maybe December holidays where some restaurants are doing very well. They can hire more. When the time is over or the season, the peak is coming down now, then you can decide to release them. So you just employ them on contract basis. Then there could be also promotion reasons. So when that is done, now you find you go to the job description, and you say that this is a set, or a job description should set out and define the overall purpose or role of the job and tasks to be carried out. It must be factual. It must be up to date, and should describe what the job holder does or will do. That which the job holder does or the job holder will do. I hope that these are clear. I don't know whether you, my students, can see this and allow me to have that. So if you look at this, you say that a good job description is a vital part of selecting the right candidate, because without it, you cannot compare candidates against what they will be doing. You cannot even do performance appraisal. You can't review their performance. And therefore, job description, or the format of job description will vary slightly for each organization. However, this is what should be there. Now, I will just pick the ones that are meant for job description. because they are those that are meant for job specification. The first one we mentioned there is job title. That's very important. So you could say they are an accountant. The department where you are, the area where you are located or where you will be based could be accounting department or finance department. Then the overall purpose of the job, give us a summary of an accountant. This general purpose, the summary of an accountant. What is it that an accountant does generally? And then the duties and responsibilities and tasks to be carried out in order importance. So if there's some importance, then that is very clear. The overall purpose. What is it that this person is supposed to do? So that again is supposed to be given or provided. And then the other one we mentioned there is to whom the job holder will be responsible by job title only. And this is an area where sometimes you mess up. You find someone writing the name of the person. No, you don't write the name of the person. This is the title of immediate supervisor. Who will be supervising you? So it's important that that is clarified. Job description. So whom will you be reporting to? To whom will you be reporting to as the job holder? Then qualifications not there. Details not there. Any traveling may be mentioned. Salary and benefit can be mentioned. And then special circumstances that will go to person specification. That is under person specification. Now, when you're looking at this further, you then move to the person specification, and let's see what it says. If you can see person specification, now in person specification, we have the explanation. It describes the person required to do the job. It describes the person who is required to do the job. It is an interpretation of the job description and will indicate the kind of person you require for the job. Who is the person you require for this job? It should contain a list of the criteria against which you can assess candidates so that all candidates are measured against the same criteria. The person specification may be better written using a standard set of headings, and it's important that you use it during the interview. And so, looking at this, there are two approaches here. We have got Professor Roger, and we also have Munro-Fraser five-fold grading system. In this case, there is 7-point plan and there is 5-point plan. So, who talked about 7-point plan and who talked about 5-point plan? Carol, who talked about 7-point plan? Mandy, who talked about who talked about five-fold grading system? Manti says Munro. Okay, how about Mutaki? Who talked about 7-point plan? Yes, that is Roger. Roger is the one who talks about 7-point plan. When you go through them, 7-point is even wider. 5-point is all about summary of the job specification. So you can use any model that can work for you. So the first point under 7-point plan is the physical makeup, the health, the physique, the appearance, the bearing, the speech. The physical makeup. What is the physical makeup of this person? These people are going to be personal. They want to know about your health. What is your health status? That's when they even need a doctor's report. Right now, if you're going to look for some jobs, you'll be told to provide a COVID-19 certificate or clearance certificate. So important. If you see, what is your body like? Are you healthy? What is your weight? What is your height? What is your appearance? You know, the appearance is some positions. If you're going to be, if you're going to be, what position is this? Air hostess. You need someone, someone who smiles and the body is not huge, slender. I don't know that that's slender or whatever it's called. You ladies, you know this very well. For ladies who are here, you know this very well. The kind of a person they want. They don't want someone who is so overweight or someone who is so slender. Though some jobs, even the slender ones, better. They do very well. So that is what we're looking at. The speech. How do you speak? Can we hear you? Can you be audible? Are you audible enough? That is the physical makeup of 7-point plan. The first one. The second one is the attainment. This is where we look at your educational qualifications or your education. What did you achieve? Diploma, certificate, bachelor in education, bachelor of commerce, accounting option. What did you get? First class, second class? They will even be specific. You want someone who has gotten first class. You want someone who has got second class. Below that, no. What is your experience? And is that experience relevant? How many years have you worked? Is there a senior managerial position or is just general experience? 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, 5 should be managerial. The remaining ones, not a big deal. Yes, that is attainment. General intelligence, the fundamental intellectual capacity. How intelligent are you? How quick can you reason and reason right? And that's what sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we respond to things so fast without even thinking about it. And later when you look at it, review it, you find you failed yourself or you messed up yourself. The special attributes, the mechanical, manual dexterity, use of words or figures. What is your mechanical ability? Are you able to do some tasks? You may not have even done them in school, but you have that gift or you are I've learned that in some part of life. There are things you do in life that could be maybe hobby or whatever, but when you go to looking for jobs, you find that sometimes they are advantage to you. So it's always encouraged. The manual dexterity, the use of words or figures. Some people just talking, speaking, and you find that person's a good orator. That person can speak so well. He can even be an interviewer. He can be a news presenter. These people who are doing the radio, people like Mike Kageni, Yalango, and the rest, Shiko, whatever names you call them. These people did not do those courses. Some of them is when they are registered, they are doing these courses, but they just had that they had that ability to use words and figures very well. They could articulate them rightfully. Interest. What are the interests? What are you interested in? If I ask my students here, what are you interested in monthly? What are you interested in Mutaki if you are to be asked in an interview? And I'm going to show a video here of someone talking about in an interview when you are told, tell us about your weaknesses, or tell us about your strengths. How do you manage such a situation? It's very critical. I'll be getting there just to ensure that things work out for us and share more in the process. So that is important for us. And I proceed with it after interest, so intellectual, practical, constructional, physical. Are you physically active? Are you maybe in sports? That could be an advantage. Are you a social person? You talk. You are social. You love. You're passionate about talking. You are artistic. You could sing. All those. They would fit in somewhere in some areas. Disposition, acceptability. Are you easily accepted? Are you accepting things so easily? Can you change as things change? What about influence of others? Can you change others? Can you influence others to take a certain decision that you didn't know? How steady are you? How firm are you? You've made a decision. Can you stand by it? Or today you are in A, tomorrow you are in B. Dependability. Can we depend on you? Can we rely on you? Can I go for 1 month leave and leave you at work? Mutaki, is it possible that your employer can leave you there for 3 days and there is no complaint? When they come back, they think of promoting you monthly. Would that be the case with you, working or not working? What about circumstances? There are circumstances you find yourself in. Imagine you are in an organization and the COVID-19 has come up. Will you remain in the organization? Will you be the first person to run away? You're afraid of COVID-19. Some will say, no, it doesn't matter. I've seen people over 70 years and they are going to work. But there are those who are 60 and they're so scared they can't leave home. So circumstances matters a lot. And then we go to fivefold. The fivefold system here by Mundo Fresh is just a summary. Like we see the first one there, its impact on others. So looking at him, his impact on others, the physical makeup, the speech, the manner, the same thing we talked about, the acquired qualification. That is the education, the vocational training, work experience. Then there's innate abilities, the natural quickness of comprehension. It's like the intelligence, quick to apprehend things, comprehend things, aptitude for learning. So it now brings together interest and intelligence, all this brought together. Then the motivation. What motivates you? What are goals that you are setting? Are you really consistent with what you are doing? By the way, what time do you wake? Are you consistent with the time you wake up? Is it that there's something that influences you in doing things? What has made you achieve that which you achieved where others have failed? And you, when you review your success, you maybe attribute it to something else or somebody or just the innate ability in you, then adjustment, the emotional stability. How stable are you? Someone annoys you, someone steps on you, how do you react? How do you respond? Simple things. Even in the interview panel, someone can step on you knowingly, hard, so harsh. And what will happen? You remember the story I've heard of this story long ago, or for a while, the story of this individual who was, this young man who was going for an interview. And you know how when we go for interviews, we prepare very well. You ensure your shoes are well polished, you well dressed. If it's a necktie, it's on. This person gets into a vehicle, gets a seat, and another person comes in, sits, and then the vehicle is full. Then what happens next? Someone comes in, the vehicle is full, stands. During the days we used to stand in the vehicles, and unfortunately steps on this person's shoes, well polished. I don't know if that day it was rainy or just dusty. I can't remember the story very well. And we are told that this person stepped on this other person's shoes, the one who was going for an interview. He was so annoyed. He talked badly to this person. He's stepping on me. You don't know I'm going for an interview. I would have even charged you for the polishing I've spent, or I'm going to spend, or the struggle I'm going to go through to ensure that I'm presentable for an interview. Talked rudely, and they got to the point of alighting, and people alighted as usual. The ones who are still standing, if they still remain and they want to alight, those who are seated can alight later. And then what happens? They follow. The person starts, moves, and unfortunately, what happened is that these people went to the same institution, and the one who was stepping on the other one accidentally was part of the panel interview. What would you do if you're in such a situation? How would you respond if you're asked about your emotions and they give an example, or they ask you, give us an example of a case where you had a disagreement with someone? If you remember that that's the person whom you talked to rudely, because some of us may not remember, but that kind of an instance you can easily remember. How will you take back your words? Because sometimes we talk rude. Monthly, can you remember that day you were so rude to that person? Castro, that day you were so rude to somebody, and you later sat down and you were like, I wish I didn't react that way. Or you even wished you didn't react that way. To you, it was not rudeness. Kalunde, that day you were rude to that person, that employee or colleague of yours, maybe that's not your brother, or just that stranger. That day you were rude. If that happened, that might have happened. It does not add up. You never know where you're meeting the next person. So this is what you're going to look for in the job as we get the person for the job. It's very important. So what is it that motivates you? And are you able to adjust? The emotional stability, the ability to stand up to stress. Are you able to go through stress? As I've mentioned, you get to a job and the person steps on you so badly. They don't apologize. They step on you. During the panel interview, someone just extends their feet and ensure they hit your shoe. Sometimes you sit next, especially if you want to sit next to them. If you are far from them, fine. But they just find you sitting at the reception, and he's the one who's going to part of the interview. And they step on you and they don't apologize, they just rush. And when they look back, they see you're frowning and you want even to stand up and chase the person and just tell them how you felt bad. They are very critical. So wherever we are, we don't know what next. Are you able to stand up to stress? You can go to an interview, it should start at 10, and it start at 2. Will you be patient to wait? Some of us are not patient because of the world of today. Is just the world of today is just pap. Everything is pap. Pesa pap. You know, you go to M-Pesa withdraw. You go. You want something from supermarket. You don't go to supermarket. You know, Uber, the ride, Uber ride. You know, the Glovo and the rest. It is brought to you there so fast. It's fast food. Everything is fast for us. Are we able to stand up to stress and ability to get on with people? No, people will always be people. Conflict, disagreements, they will always be there. Are you able to overcome and withstand such situations? And that is very critical for us. What's a question there? What's a question there? Or comment? Carol, can I use you as an example? I don't know whether you can talk or you are at work. I wish Carol could tell us about her knowledge about job description and specification. Or Motanya, or Manthi. Have you been in employment before? What has been your experience with job description and specification? Anyone who can talk? I know there someone told me she could not talk, so I would not want to force that. Can I get the person? Anyone who has an experience and you would wish to share such? You are a player, Matanya. Fine. I wish I got someone who is free to talk to me, ask about this. But then the question is, you go for an interview. The question is, tell us about your strengths and weaknesses. What should you say? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Carol, you know, I wanted to use you today. Unfortunately, you were held up at work. I really wished I could get hold of you, especially those who are working. We need your experience.
I
We
can
need your
say that
expertise. Continue.
I can say that I'm hardworking.
Which one is that? A weakness or a strength?
That's my strength.
You are hardworking. Okay. Though generally they expect everyone to be hardworking, but then that should be unique anyway. All right. Monthly, what are your weaknesses? You go to an interview and that's a question that's thrown to you. Monthly, what are your weaknesses? You love sleep? Would that be fine? Mutaki, what are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? Okay. As they get us there, let me share this. Share, and I get to see you, hear your views. That's what we have, and I believe we've learned something there. Is that the case? Mutaki has said she's daring, always time conscious. She is herself, hardworking, innovative, and just to mention few. However, her weaknesses so fast to anger. I know I've experienced this with you, but that has, the learning process was very key. I know that. I've experienced it, though not too extreme. Afraid of correcting fellow employees in fear of losing your work. No, that should not be a challenge. That should not be a weakness. Because unless the fellow employees are the ones who recruited you or they have some connection with management, and in the past, if you do correct them, then you lose your job. Unless you're correcting the owner of the institution. However, you may also not correct, but you can just challenge them. You may come out of correcting and then challenge them. But that's good, Mutaki. Thank you so much for that. We really miss you in our morning session. You can see this information that we are getting is something that we really miss in our class. I'll share this in the class, and then maybe I'll ask some questions. You do them in the portal. So please, after this, we go back to the portal. And anyone wants a comment on the weaknesses and strengths question? This is the weaknesses. I will share strengths later. Any comments or a question? Thank you, Mutaki. This should be Carol at the same time. So let me get any other comments. It's good to share, and that experience you're sharing with us is very enriching. I like it. Any comments? Matthew, any comment? Castro, I know you joined us late, but you've learned something, I believe. What did you learn from the video? Or that's what we've learned, or anything you want to comment. Or maybe a question you want to ask some of us. Any question or comment? So if there's no one with a comment, then I believe you've learned as much as there's no feedback coming. Expected to get feedback from Motanya and Manti, because already I've gotten feedback from Mutaki. If there's no question, then it means I'm bringing to an end the topic on recruitment, the topic on selection, the topic on placement, so that I move to human resource policies or human resource records. Maybe just 1 minute if there's a comment or question, so that we can wind up. Any comment or question? It's in the next 1 minute. Fine, then I believe you are okay. We will end our session there. I want to thank you for turning up. I wish you a blessed day. Please get to the portal now. In the next maybe 1 hour, you can do the tasks I've posted there. and I believe it shall be well. Thank you. Have a blessed afternoon. We are free to leave unless someone would need to engage me after everyone has left. I always have that session if you can engage me. Yes.